So for this first example, I'm going to do a unit conversion that involves straight line distance conversion, a linear conversion. Let's say the problem is that we're converting 240 kilometers to inches. So this would be an example of a metric to English conversion. Well, if I want to think through the steps that I'm going to need to take in terms of the unit conversions, I'm going to start with kilometers. Then I'd like to go from kilometers maybe to meters, and from meters to centimeters. Sorry, that was supposed to be a C. Try again. To centimeters, and then lastly from centimeters to inches. So if that's the steps that I want to take, then I'm going to have to think about some conversions. First, I'm going to need to know how many meters are there in a kilometer. Of course, the kilometer is a bigger unit than the meter. Well, it happens to be there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Okay, kilo standing for 1,000. Then I'm going to need to know how many centimeters are in a meter. Well, there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, since centi is the prefix for 100 or 1/100th of something. And lastly, I need to know how many centimeters are in 1 inch, and it ends up being 2.54 centimeters equals 1 inch. Okay, so now that I've got the thought process down and the steps I'm going to take and the appropriate conversion factors, then we can move forward with the problem. So I'm converting 240 kilometers, so I'll start with just writing that down, 240 kilometers. And then I'm going to multiply it by the first conversion factor. The first conversion factor was that there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. So since I want my kilometer unit to cancel, I'm going to stick the kilometer on the bottom since it's already on the top over here. And then I would enter in the other information, which is that there's 1,000 meters in 1 kilometer. Okay, then I can set up my next conversion factor, which is going to be the fact that there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, this conversion factor here. So if I have a meter in this conversion factor, and I currently have a meter right here in the numerator, then I know I'm going to want to put the meter in the denominator. So again, the meters will cancel, and then I'll enter in 100 centimeters in the numerator. Then I'm going to do the last conversion, which is going to involve the fact that there's 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. So again, since I have centimeters right here in the numerator, I know I'm going to want to put centimeters in the denominator. So I'm going to put in 2.54 centimeters. Sorry, that's not a very clear C, but that's supposed to be my eraser. So let me try again. 2.54 centimeters, that's a dot over there. And then in the numerator, I'm going to enter in 1 inch, because 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. So once I have all of that set up, I can just double check all of my units to make sure they cancel appropriately. So if we start all the way on the left, all the way over on the left, I see there is, maybe I'll change the color of my marker just to make it a little clearer. Okay, so I see that there's a kilometer here that cancels with this kilometer. I see there's a meter here that cancels with this meter. I see there's a centimeter here that cancels with this centimeter. And the only last unit that remains is the inch, and that's exactly what I wanted, because I wanted to ultimately convert into inches. So once I'm convinced that I've set it up right, and I'm convinced because all the units canceled out other than the inch, then I just carry through with the multiplication, the math. So this, you can think of this as over 1 if you like. So if I multiply the numerator through, I get 240 times 1,000 times 100. Well, 1,000 times 100 is 1 with 5 zeros. And so I know if I want to represent 1 with 5 zeros with using scientific notation, it's going to be times 10 to the 5th. because 10 to the fifth is 1 with 5 zeros. There's always as many zeros as the exponent in the scientific notation. So that's 240 times 1,000 times 100 is now represented there, and then the last number was just 1 times 1 in the numerator. So I know the numerator's all set, and then I would divide by, well, 1 times 1 times 1 times 2.54. And, well, quite honestly, I don't have a calculator on me right now, but I imagine you guys could carry through this last step. But after you do the calculation, the important part is to leave your answer in scientific notation. Okay, I hope that helped out.